Good evening, credit union members. Welcome to the 83rd annual meeting of Canton School Employees Federal Credit Union. My name is Howard Taylor, and I have the privilege to serve as the chairman of the board. With me this evening is the credit union's president and chief executive officer, Stan Barnes. When we had to meet virtually last year, we all thought that would be a one-time occurrence. Well, not so. Here we are again virtually. While many of us have had the opportunity to be vaccinated against the coronavirus and are finally beginning to see light at the end of the tunnel, the pandemic continues, and with it, so do the restrictions on large in-person gatherings. So for one more year, we will meet virtually again. The virtual format or venue of this meeting does not in any way diminish the importance of what we will do here tonight. Your credit union's annual meeting provides you a great opportunity to hear directly from leadership about credit union accomplishments and plans for the future. It also gives you the opportunity to vote for members of the board of directors. So thank you to all who have joined us this evening. I want to take a moment before we start and ask Stan to explain some of the features of this virtual meeting room and encourage your participation. Stan?
Thank you, Howard. I'll be glad to. What you'll see on your screens now this year is slightly different than what you would have seen if you joined us last year. And for those of you joining us virtually for the first time, let me point out a few of the features that will allow you to fully participate in tonight's meeting. First, on the right hand of the screen, you'll see a box that allows you to download a copy of tonight's annual meeting packet. This packet includes copies of credit union financial statements and committee reports, as well as biographical information on all of our board candidates. Just below that, you'll see a space to submit questions. Please don't include any personal or account information when you submit a question, and we'll be glad to address as many of the questions as we can later in the meeting. And finally, when prompted by the chairman, you will have the ability to make and vote on motions that come up for action during this meeting. You will see information on your screens on how to do that when it is time. So hopefully, with that information, you'll be able to participate fully and get the most out of tonight's meeting.
Thanks, Dan. So let's get started. At this time, I would like to call the 83rd annual meeting of this credit union to order. Article 4, Section 5 of the bylaws specifies that 15 members of the credit union constitute a quorum at annual or special meetings. Our meeting administrator has a record of members participating tonight, and I have been informed that we have met the minimum quorum requirement to proceed. With that, let's move on to the approval of the minutes of last year's annual meeting. The minutes of last year's annual meeting have been provided in the documents section of the site. Having had an opportunity to preview the minutes as printed, I will now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the 82nd annual meeting held April 7, 2020. You will now have the opportunity to move and second this motion as it appears on your screen. I have a motion. I have a second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of last year's annual meeting. All those in favor of the motion, select yes. Anyone opposed, select no and hit the submit button. You'll now have a few seconds to submit your vote. All votes will be calculated by the meeting moderator and available shortly. This could take up to 30 seconds. The motion is carried. The minutes have been approved. Under normal circumstances, each year at the annual meeting, our board of directors is with us in person. That just isn't possible this year, but they are with us virtually tonight. And we thought it would be very appropriate if we let our board members provide all of you a recap of CSE's 2020 accomplishments. With all of the work that they do behind the scenes, the annual meeting gives you the opportunity to see all of them. So tonight, while they can't be here in person, they have pre-recorded a video with a message for all of you. Let's take a look.
It's been well over a year now since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. And oftentimes, as I'm sure it certainly feels this way for you, it seems like it's been a lot longer than that. But here at CSE, we're hopeful that we can get back to normal sooner rather than later. 2020 has been a difficult year for many of you, our members. Many of you have lost jobs. Many of you have lost income. Some of you have even lost friends or family members, and for that, our hearts go out to all of you. For many of us, though, 2020 has provided a lot of forgettable and unforgettable moments, and you certainly as members were not immune to all of that. But rather than continuing to dwell on negatives, we want to focus for a moment on the positives. For CSE Federal Credit Union, 2020 provided numerous opportunities to make a significant impact in our community. And we want to make sure that our members didn't miss any of these exciting achievements that will make our credit union even stronger moving forward. And we couldn't think of a better way to tell you about those 2020 achievements than letting our board of directors deliver that message to all of you.
In 2020, CSE was named Ohio's #1 credit union by Forbes. This is a testament to the collaborative effort to meet and exceed our members' needs from all facets of the organization.
We became certified by the U.S. Department of Treasury as a Community Development Financial Institution, or CDFI. CDFIs are a mission-driven financial institution that is dedicated to providing financial services to meet the needs of economically disadvantaged individuals within the underserved communities. Becoming a CDFI gives CSE the access to resources to continue developing products and services for our members.
We awarded $10,000 in our inaugural video scholarship contest for CSE members who were attending post-secondary education schools received $2,500 scholarships. We are excited to be granting an additional $10,000 to 4 more members again in 2021.
We adopted new mission and vision statements to align with CSE's goals for helping our community. Our mission statement is, CSE Federal Credit Union is committed to helping all people within our community achieve financial strength by providing sound financial products, outstanding service, and financial education.
Vision statement. Member-owned, member-focused, in an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect. CSE Federal Credit Union will always exceed our members' expectations and be their first choice for financial service needs. CSE will empower our employees to build lasting relationships with members in an inclusive environment that values and respects all employees and the members of our community.
Continue financial education efforts by shifting to virtual learning modules, utilizing video conferencing, bonsai learning, educational blog posts, and more.
We introduced a new member financial counseling program and named Reggie Lowe, former manager of the Canton office, as its certified financial counselor.
We're proud of all these achievements, but given that we have all experienced over the past 14 months, what we are most proud of is our response to COVID-19 and how we have been able to help members weather a difficult storm.
We all remember back in March of 2020, things started to get dicey for many of us. Our members faced uncertainty in the eyes of layoffs or cut hours.
Ohio's shutdown forced even more uncertainty, which included closing of CSE branch lobbies for just over a month. In an effort to curb the financial strain our members were facing, we acted quickly. Here is how we served members in a time of need.
We waived over 50,000 ATM fees, which meant that members kept over $25,000 in their accounts for other needs.
We had many members take advantage of our free skip-a-pay program. Over 9,100 loan and credit card payments were skipped, resulting in members having nearly $4 million available to use on other expenses.
We refunded over 2,600 non-sufficient fund fees, giving back nearly $66,000 to members.
We recorded 5-year highs in lending volume as members' needs for financing increased dramatically during the pandemic. Also of note, loan quality has remained very high in spite of current economic conditions.
Finally, we enhanced online and digital banking services available to members. As a result, over half of all loans were signed for electronically in 2020. We also accepted over 13,000 mobile deposits, and home banking users were at a record high.
All of those things changed how we conduct business at CSE. It stretched us, pulled us, and challenged us. But in the end, it proved what we are capable of doing and has laid the framework for a better banking experience for our members, both now and in the future. Thank you to all our members.
Thank you to all of our members.
Thank you to all of our members.
Thank you to all of our members who made 2020 a great year by banking local and supporting our credit union.
Thank you to the Board of Directors for that message, and thank you for all of your efforts to make those accomplishments happen. We miss having you here with us, don't we, Stan?
We do, Howard. Actually, we do. We're anxious to get back to normal.
We do look forward to that. Now, as you just saw in that video, our Board of Directors has once again appropriated $10,000 for our second annual video scholarship contest. This year, we had 20 members who are attending post-secondary education apply for one of our 4 $2,500 scholarships that we are awarding. And again, this year, we had some outstanding video submissions.
We certainly did, Howard. The applicants for our 2021 scholarship contest were tasked with creating a new 60-second commercial for CSE that highlighted one of 3 areas within the credit union: CSE's lending philosophy and loan products, CSE's digital banking tools, or CSE in the community. Our scholarship committee scored the submissions based on a scoring rubric, and we're very happy to officially announce our 4 winners here tonight.
Congratulations to Michael George. Michael will be attending Hondros College. Whisper Johnson. Whisper will be attending Bowling Green State University. Rachel Porter. Rachel will be attending The Ohio State University. And Corbin Williams. Corbin will be attending Ohio University. Now, please enjoy our winning video submissions.
As a student in the financial industry, I care a lot about who handles my money. I choose to work with CSE because of their investment in our community. You know they invest in the community because Canton is in their name. Canton School Employees is the original group the credit union was formed for. CSE invests in its community by supporting local organizations and events. They make an effort to work with the underserved members of our community. Lastly, you really know CSE invested in their community because of scholarships like this one. Thanks, CSE. As a student and a resident of Stark County, I'm proud to bank local with CSE.
So, you want banking that's convenient in our fast-paced modern world? Look no further than CSE Federal Credit Union and their digital banking options. Take it from me, a college student far from home with little or no time to stop in a physical bank. Using my handy-dandy smartphone, all of what I need is a tap away. The simple setup allows users to find what they need in a quick and timely manner. Transferring money has never been easier, especially amongst members or from one of your accounts to another. You're also able to check your e-statements to cut back on that Stone Age paper mail. This bank is especially good for families with soon-to-be young adults. With mobile alerts keeping track of money spent and encouraging responsible spending, it's a great first step into adult finances. Not to mention more helpful features like freezing a lost debit card, having general account overviews, and starting loan applications, all from the comfort of your own home. Geez, at this point, I can focus on my studies and not have to worry about going to an actual bank in addition to studying.
You may be asking yourself, why should I do my banking at CSE? But as a citizen of Stark County, the reasons are endless. To become a member, you just have to live, work, worship, attend school, or volunteer within Stark County. CSE's goal is to help all people in our community achieve financial strength by providing sound financial products, outstanding service, and financial education to everyone. Since 1938, the credit union has gained over 45,000 members, and they would love for many more. Originally created to serve employees at local schools, CSE has always aimed to put community members first. In order to educate and provide opportunities for the youth of the community, speakers from the credit union attend local schools to educate students about their future financial steps and help them open up accounts to prepare. Not only that, but CSE provides scholarship opportunities for students who are members of the credit union and plan on furthering their education. In addition to helping students, CSE supports a wide variety of community organizations such as Akron Children's Hospital, Salvation Army, American Red Cross, and Habitat for Humanity. Therefore, if you want a bank that truly cares about their members, CSE is the place to be.
Buying a new home can seem like a daunting task, especially in a seller's market. Deciding from so many options can be overwhelming. The possibilities are virtually endless. Canton School Employees Federal Credit Union can make the path to home ownership easier to navigate. Your first stop on this journey should be to schedule a consultation with a lending expert at CSE Federal Credit Union. In a seller's market, having a pre-approval letter in hand can make the difference between getting the home of your dreams or not. Membership in CSE Federal Credit Union is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, attends school, or volunteers within Stark County. So, if you aren't already a member, our lending expert can help with that too. Visit csefcu.com today or call us at 330-452-9801 to start your journey to home ownership today with a mortgage loan from CSE Federal Credit Union.
Congratulations to all of our winners. Great job. Each of these videos is impressive, and we wish all of you the very best of luck with schooling in the fall. We also want to give a big thanks to all of our scholarship applicants. It's not easy to put together creative videos, but to all of you who submitted applications into our 2021 Video Scholarship Contest, we thank you for your time and effort, and we appreciate all of you being members here at CSE. And thank you as well to the members of the Scholarship Committee for making this happen. Now let's move on to the report of the Nominating Committee. An important part of our annual meeting is the election of board members. And I'd like to ask Stan to deliver the report of the Nominating Committee. Stan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be glad to. Volunteers serving on the board of directors of this credit union or any credit union form a fundamental part of what makes credit unions different than other financial institutions. Volunteer leadership, democratic governance, cooperative ownership, and our not-for-profit motivation of helping people form the basic principles of the credit union movement and clearly demonstrate the credit union difference. Recognizing the importance of fair and open elections and volunteer governance, the board of directors adopted new bylaws in June of 2017, which significantly changed the procedures we have used in the past to elect board members. With the intent to increase the opportunities available for members to vote for directors, the bylaws now provide for open voting for a 3-day period before the annual meeting, voting at the annual meeting, just as we have always done, and the opportunity for members to request and vote by absentee ballot. Even with COVID-19 still impacting our day-to-day operations, we were still able to provide members the voting opportunities specified by the bylaws as follows. First, absentee ballots were available for members requesting them starting on March 1st, 2021. Second, 3 days of in-office voting was available to all members on March 24th, 25th, and 26th. And third, voting was also available to all members virtually this evening from 4:30 until the start of the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Now, on to the election. It is the duty of the nominating committee to appoint at least one candidate for each vacancy. The nominating committee was appointed by the chairman in a timely manner, and 5 candidates were nominated by the committee for the 4 open positions on the board of directors. Then, pursuant to Article 5, Section 1B of our bylaws, notice was given to the membership that nominations for the board of directors could also be made by petition to the nominating committee. The requirements for nomination by petition were provided to the membership. Petitions for self-nomination were due to the board secretary no later than February 16, 2021. As of the deadline, no members submitted petitions for nomination. This year, since the number of candidates nominated exceeded the number of seats available, an election was required. Votes cast this evening before the start of the meeting are being added to the results of the other voting methods previously described. All votes submitted were received, maintained, and tabulated by CU Ballot, the firm we contracted with to process our election. Final results of the voting will be available and provided to the chairman and me before the end of tonight's meeting. The bylaws stipulate that there will be no nominations from the floor when the number of nominees exceeds or equals the number of positions to be filled. As previously said, this year, there are 4 positions available on the board of directors, each for a full 3-year term. There are 5 candidates that have been nominated. Therefore, in accordance with Article 5, Section 1B of the bylaws, there will be no nominations from the floor this evening. I would like to recognize and thank the members of the nominating committee. They include Pastor Walter Moss, Michael Ray, and in addition, several board members not currently running for re-election served on the committee as well: Dennis Fleckner, Adam Huffstetler, and Pam Travis. So thank you very much for your service. And I know that all of you join me in thanking these individuals for their willingness to volunteer their service to the credit union. On behalf of the nominating committee, I would also like to thank our candidates for their interest in serving the credit union and their participation in this process. These candidates include David Cushing, Enrico Jackson, Brenda Lyon, James Swinderman, and Howard Taylor. On behalf of the nominating committee, I would like to thank all members that took the time to vote. The results of the election are currently being tabulated and certified and will be announced at the conclusion of the meeting. And that is the conclusion of the nominating committee report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Stan. At this time, it's my privilege to deliver my report to the membership. As chair of the board of CSE Federal Credit Union, I've had the privilege this past year of working with a group of volunteer board members and a senior management team that have worked together to ensure your credit union is relevant, responsive, and a vital part of our financial lives. But 2020 has been a rather challenging and difficult year for all of us. The pandemic quite literally shut down the credit union along with numerous other financial institutions, schools, churches, and even our favorite restaurants and sporting events. The catchphrase was unprecedented times. It appeared everywhere and affected the way we interacted with coworkers, longtime friends, even family members. But I know CSE Federal Credit Union is emerging from these unprecedented times, stronger and better prepared to meet the financial needs of the membership than ever before. By working together, the membership is better prepared to face the varied financial challenges in the lives of our membership. The role of the board of directors is to oversee the business practices, policies, and procedures of the credit union and ensure the president and senior management teams serve the best interest of our members. And as volunteers elected from the membership, we represent a vested interest in the continued financial strength and success of CSE. I'm pleased to report that in 2020, CSE Federal Credit Union performed incredibly well financially, as you will see from our financial report a little later. Your credit union, in spite of the past year's financial challenges associated with the worldwide pandemic, is well capitalized and financially sound. Our leadership, beginning with our President and Chief Executive Officer, Stan Barnes, along with the senior management team, are to be commended and thanked for their outstanding performance under incredibly challenging conditions. Now, as we attempt to regain our footing and return to some kind of normalcy, dependable financial services from a strong, stable, trusted partner are more important than ever. That means your board of directors, 4 of whom will be elected tonight, ensure you that the CSE leadership will continue to craft new products and services offered at competitive pricing, and delivered to you in the most convenient ways possible. Our members have every reason to expect this from us. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank each of you, our loyal membership, for your continued support of the credit union. Financial service delivery continues to change rapidly, and the financial services industry is crowded with numerous options for our members. The board understands your credit union needs to be competitive to attract and retain your business. Our efforts toward digital transformation focused on convenience will continue. While technology is critical to CSE's future success, we need to remember we are an organization of and for our membership. People are the reason CSE exists. Our commitment to fairness and respect of all persons is equally focused on our employees and members. Finally, I would like to thank the Board of Directors for their work this past year and their dedication to the credit union. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation on behalf of the board and the membership to the staff and management of CSE. In spite of the challenges presented by the pandemic and economy, our leadership and staff remain committed to the cooperative principles of the credit union movement and work hard to make CSE your trusted financial partner. Thank you for your membership, your loyalty, and your commitment to excellence. I'm now going to turn it back over to Stan for the President's report.
Well, thank you, Howard. It's my privilege now to deliver the President's report to you this evening. So on behalf of the staff of CSE Federal Credit Union, please let me extend our welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us virtually tonight. Had you told me 1 year ago that we would be having this meeting virtually once again, I would not have believed you. I don't think anyone would have. At this time last year, none of us really knew what to expect or what the next year would bring. I think about our friends and longtime members that regularly attend the annual meeting, and I wish we could all be together in person, and that day will come once again, but for tonight, we are here with you again virtually. Thank you all that have joined us this way. I want to take a moment and express my appreciation to the board members for their continued service to the credit union. The pandemic did not stop the board of directors from diligently fulfilling their fiduciary roles. And even though your board has had to meet electronically for more than 1 year now, they are no less engaged and as dedicated as always to making sure that all decision-making is grounded by our guiding principles and that your credit union stays focused on your interests. I also want to thank the candidates that ran for board seats tonight. The voting is complete, results are being tabulated, but as the credit union, we already are the winners. All 5 candidates would do an excellent job. I appreciate your interest in serving the credit union. Volunteer leadership is one of the cooperative principles that is a differentiating characteristic of credit unions, and it is very evident here at CSE. I also want to thank several other volunteers that serve on our committees. Your role is no less important. Your names are listed in your annual meeting package that hopefully you all downloaded this evening. Also, thank you to all of you, our members. Without your continued loyalty and support this past year, CSE would not be as successful as it is. Things were definitely different at all of our offices last year. They had to be. For a short period of time, our lobbies were closed and drive-ups were the only way to obtain in-person service. I know that wasn't convenient for anyone, but I appreciate your patience as we work through the various restrictions and health orders. You stood by us last year, just as we stood behind all of you. And the result? Together, we achieved some pretty outstanding things for CSE and our members. And finally, I want to express my appreciation and sincere thanks to the staff of CSE. What we were able to achieve last year was the result of a partnership between the leadership of the board and the hard work and execution of the staff. And I appreciate your work and efforts for the membership. Our employees are no different than all of you. Many had family members with underlying medical conditions that placed them at extreme risk. Many employees faced childcare issues. Some experienced illness. Several employees actually contracted the coronavirus. And at times, employee absence due to those various conditions places significant strain on other employees. Yet in spite of all of that, they made sure that service to our membership was their number one priority. So to all of our CSE employees, all 126 of you, thank you all. Your work for our members and your dedication to the credit union is inspiring. If you ever wonder if what you do here makes a difference for people, what you accomplished last year should be a clear indication that the answer to that is yes, you do make a difference. And last, I want to thank our marketing team, Tim and Sharon. See, this event doesn't happen by itself. Our technology in bringing this meeting to you virtually has improved significantly since last year. Hopefully, the incorporation of video presentations from board members and committees has made a big difference in trying to make this virtual event as much like the in-person ones as possible. So thank you. Now, each year at the annual meeting, during the time that I have to speak with all of you, I'd like to highlight some of the credit union achievements from the previous year and provide some insight onto what's on our radar screen for the future. Well, tonight, the board of directors have already done a very good job of doing just that. And that was very appropriate because without their direction and leadership, those accomplishments may not have happened. Last year at this time, I told you that whatever happened, you could count on CSE to have your back. And we did just that. Your response has been and continues to be gratifying. Our treasurer, Denny Fleckner, will soon report to you the financial results of 2020. He will tell you that we ended 2020 with just over $326 million in member assets. And that growth has continued into 2021. And at the end of the first quarter of this year, your credit union has grown to over $360 million in assets. We appreciate your confidence. We also rolled out new versions of our mobile services last year. And now we have an updated version in testing that will be out soon to address some of the suggestions that our members have made to improve it. Your response to our electronic service offerings has been incredible. And in response to requests from members, we are now ready to roll out our new contactless debit card. There is never a dull moment here at CSE. We are always looking for ways to move our credit union forward and be that indispensable force in our community, promoting economic equality and opportunity, and as our mission statement says, help all people in our community achieve financial strength. And now, to close my report for this evening, I'd like to share with you just one more video. Tonight marks the end of a long career of board service for one of our board members. Rick Marks has served this credit union as a volunteer director for over 24 years. Rick's service on the board goes all the way back to our old office over at 18th Street and Cleveland Avenue. More importantly, Rick's service spans a period of time in the history of this credit union when we expanded our services to our entire community and retooled our lending program to reach out and help those in our community that need credit union services the most. Our success as a credit union will always be linked with the careful, deliberative, and compassionate manner in which Rick carried out his responsibilities as a director. We asked Rick to share some of his institutional knowledge with all of you tonight. So here it is, Rick Marks on 24 years of change at CSE.
My name is Rick Marks. I've been on the board 24 years. I got on back in '97. My wife and I have been a member of the credit union going back to the early '70s. We both worked in Canton City schools, and I wanted to get involved with the credit union because it's such a good organization, and it was very good to my family. It helped us financially. It's just been so good for us, and I believe many hundreds, if not thousands, of people throughout the Canton community. We've gone from a credit union of a couple thousand people, and we have 44,000 members now. Probably our assets were, just guessing back then, a couple million, and now we have assets over 300 million. Physically, where we're sitting right now is a car dealership, and we moved here. This is our main office. We have 3 off branches, and that was some big change. And we moved here from our main office, which was on 18th and Cleveland. And back then we had maybe a dozen employees, and we're upwards over 130, 140 right now. The title has changed also. It was typically for Canton City School employees, and then 20-some years ago we were able to change due to the laws to take in members that lived, worked, and worshiped in Stark County. So our membership really grew, our assets really grew, and bigger isn't always better, but in this particular case, with the assets and the income that we had, we were able to have a lot more services for our members. We were able to expand into mortgages, business loans, obviously car loans, and just a lot of services that we could do with the assets that we had. Yeah, we've been very fortunate to have, good board leadership, good board members, and their interest was just to help people, just to get on here and be advised what to do. And I'll further go on the leadership that we've had. Going back to Gloria Tallarico, a wonderful CEO, a caring, warm person, and she's probably the first CEO that I dealt with, and my wife, back in the 70s and 80s. And then Stan came, and just a fantastic person, cut out of the same mold as Gloria, but he brought a lot of innovative things and put together a really good staff. So what I see in our staff, from the top all the way down, is just caring people, knowledgeable, that provided good training, and they put that to use. And that's what I hear from our members. A lot of times people will say, Rick, I really like the credit union. You go in there and you feel part of a family. They help you, they guide you through the financial process. It's just a nice feeling. I'm sure there'll be a lot of changes in the next 20-some years, and we'll probably continue to grow. But I think we will still maintain the mission that has been here forever, and that's to help people with their financial needs. No matter how big we get, that will always be paramount, and we'll continue to do that. And to finish, it's really been an honor and a pleasure. I've really, enjoyed my time working here with the different board members, different staff members. So I'll miss that, but I'll still be a member.
It's been an honor and a privilege for us too, Rick. So on behalf of all of us, thank you. We appreciate your dedication to CSE, and to honor your service here, the credit union will be making a donation in your honor to the community organization of your choice. So now with that, I will close. Thank you all for joining us this evening, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this team here at CSE. And as always, thank you for your continued support. Back to you, Howard.
Stan, thanks so much. We appreciate that. The next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report. Our treasurer, Dennis Fleckner, has pre-recorded his report and will be sharing with you that right now.
Hello, I'm Dennis Fleckner, Treasurer of CSE Federal Credit Union, and it is my honor to present the 2020 financial report. 2020 was certainly a year that will be remembered for many reasons. It started like so many other years, but was quickly derailed. Last year at this time, we were very unsure of how the year would turn out financially. To be candid, we were concerned. Our members were losing their jobs or a significant chunk of their income. Bills were still due, but for many, there was not enough, if any, money to make ends meet. Because of a multitude of factors, we were concerned that CSE's financial reports, ratios, and overall numbers that were crucial in determining the overall health and well-being of a financial institution would be a total mess. I could not be happier to report that this simply did not happen. Here's a quick rundown of our 2020 financials. You can find a copy of our 2020 financial report in the 2021 annual meeting report and packet that is available in this virtual meeting room. In 2020, CSE's gross income was reported at over $23.5 million, which represented a 2.6% increase from the previous year. Our operating expenses remained under control and increased by just over 0.25%. Those two items, plus other factors, led CSE to report an overall net income of over $2.6 million, our greatest single net earnings in 1 year. This is an absolutely outstanding number given the amount of financial instability with the COVID-19 pandemic. Looking at the balance sheet, CSE ended 2020 again at an all-time high in total assets as we reached over $326 million in total assets at the end of December. Overall, CSE continues to remain well capitalized and financially strong and stable. Thank you very much.
The next item on the agenda is the Supervisory Committee report. And Stan, since I blew the introduction of Dennis, would you please deliver that committee's report to the members?
I'll be happy to do that, Howard. I'm happy to deliver the Supervisory Committee report on behalf of Tom Snyder, the chairman of the Credit Union Supervisory Committee. The Supervisory Committee of CSE Federal Credit Union meets quarterly to fulfill its role of ensuring that member accounts are properly maintained and reported, and that a system of internal controls is in place and effectively functioning, and that an annual audit of the books and records of the credit union is carried out and reported deficiencies, if any, are properly and timely addressed. To carry out these roles, the committee has retained the independent accounting firm of Lilly and Company. In addition to the annual audit and verification of member deposits, Lilly performs quarterly assessments of the credit union's internal control structure, quarterly audits of financial statements, and various regulatory compliance assessments as needed. In addition, the credit union has its own internal audit department. This department performs regular internal control and regulatory compliance reviews and reports the results of those reviews directly to the Supervisory Committee. As the credit union continues to grow and as financial service delivery methods evolve to meet member changing demands and expectations, our internal control and internal audit efforts must increase to keep pace with the complexity of our operation. This year, I am pleased to report that the annual audit and verification of member share account balances was successfully completed and an unqualified or clean opinion was issued. The accounting firm stated in their opinion letter that the financial statements of CSE as of June 30th, 2020 present fairly in all material respects the financial position of CSE Federal Credit Union and the consolidated results of its operations and cash flows according with generally accepted accounting principles. I would like to thank the credit union's management team for their support of the committee's efforts and their commitment to fair, honest, and accurate reporting of member information. I would also like to thank my fellow Supervisory Committee members, Enrico Jackson, James Winderman, and Pam Travis for their service to the committee. And Howard, this report is respectfully submitted by Tom Snyder, Supervisory Committee Chairman.
Thanks, Dan, for doing that on behalf of Tom. Now we're at a point in the agenda where we ask if there is any old business to be considered tonight. I'm going to look over to my left. There is no old business. So hearing none, we'll move on and ask if there's any new business to be brought up for discussion this evening. I'm getting a signal that looks exactly like the last one. So at this time, I would ask our election administrator if the results of the Board of Director election have been certified and are ready for announcement to the membership. I'm getting a thumbs up. That's good news. I'm being told that we have received the results, and Stan, if you would please present the results of this year's election to the members.
Thank you, Howard. It's my privilege to do that. The successful candidates in this year's board election, all elected to full three-year terms, are David Cushing, Enrico Jackson, Brenda Lyon, and Howard Taylor. Congratulations, and again, thank you for running for the Board of Directors.
Thank you, Stan. On behalf of the board, I want to congratulate the successful candidates elected this evening. At this time, I will ask the meeting moderator if any questions have been submitted from the membership.
We do have one question from a member asking how he can get a new debit card.
There is a question from a member about getting a new debit card. Actually, it's probably one of those contactless debit cards. And I believe that Mark Dolan, that came from you. So Mark, I would love to be of help to you. So why don't you give us a call tomorrow? Let me know, give me a call personally. I'll make sure that we get one ordered for you and we'll get it out to you in a few days. And if any of our other members are out there and would like one of those new ones as well, before your old one expires, please do the same. Give our card services department a call and tell them you want one of those new contactless debit cards that you heard about at the annual meeting.
Any other questions? No other questions. For those of you who are regular attenders at the annual meeting, you know that no annual meeting would be complete without door prizes. As members logged into the meeting, we randomly selected 10 members. Those 10 members will receive a $25 CSE Visa gift card. Those will be dropped in the mail tomorrow, and with any luck at all, will be delivered before the fall. Congratulations to the following members. Stan, you want to read them off?
I'll be glad to. Okay, these are the 10 members that were randomly selected to receive the $25 gift card. They are Marshall Boyden, Sean Dunnerstick, Mark Dolan. Congratulations, Mark. James Swinderman, Louis Dean Holloway, Dave Cushing, Matt Kramrich, Chris Kutz, and did I say Brenda? I think I said Brenda, and Deb Humbert. Deb, thank you for signing in. I'm glad that you're part of the meeting tonight, and we'll have that $25 gift card out to you in the mail tomorrow. So again, thank you all. We're glad that you were here to join us.
Now, there being no other business to come before this body, the 83rd annual meeting of Canton School Employees Federal Credit Union is adjourned. Thank you, everyone, and good evening.
Good night, everyone.